I had been driving for hours on the desolate highway, the dark expanse of the night stretching out before me like an eternity. The gas gauge needle flirted dangerously close to empty, and the glowing neon sign of a gas station on the horizon was a welcome sight. As I pulled into the dimly lit station, a sense of unease settled over me. The place seemed frozen in time, a relic of the past with its cracked pavement and flickering fluorescent lights. The only sound was the soft hum of the neon sign and the distant howling of the wind. I parked next to one of the ancient pumps, the gravel crunching beneath my tires. There was something off about the place, something that sent a shiver down my spine. The air was heavy with the scent of gasoline, and the shadows cast by the flickering lights seemed to dance in macabre patterns. I got out of the car, the cold wind biting at my skin, and approached the lone figure behind the counter. He was an old man with sunken eyes and weathered skin, his fingers yellowed from years of chain smoking. He looked up as I entered, his expression blank and lifeless. "Fill her up," I said, trying to sound casual as I handed him my credit card. He took the card without a word and began to pump the gas. I glanced around the empty station, the feeling of unease growing stronger with each passing moment. There was something about this place, something that made my skin crawl. As the gas flowed into my tank, I noticed a faded poster on the wall. It depicted a missing person, a young woman with haunted eyes. The name under her picture sent a chill down my spine, Emily Turner. It couldn't be a coincidence, that was my name. The old man finished pumping the gas and returned my card with a mirthless smile. "You have a safe drive, now." I mumbled my thanks and got back into the car, my heart pounding. I had to get out of there, had to put as much distance as possible between me and that gas station. But as I pulled away, a strange compulsion came over me, a nagging feeling that I couldn't ignore. I turned the car around and parked at a short distance from the station, hidden in the shadows. I watched as the old man returned to his post, his eyes vacant and empty. Something was seriously wrong here, and I needed to find out what. I waited for what felt like hours, my eyes never leaving the gas station. The night was still and silent, the wind carrying with it an eerie sense of foreboding. And then, just as I was about to give up and leave, I saw her, the missing woman, Emily Turner. She emerged from the shadows, her face pale and her eyes haunted. She moved with a slow, deliberate grace, her steps echoing in the empty night. I couldn't tear my eyes away from her, couldn't believe what I was seeing. Emily approached the gas station, and the old man's expression changed. He looked at her with a mix of fear and recognition, his hands trembling as he handed her a gas pump. She filled up her car with the same blank expression she had worn in the poster, as if she were in some sort of trance. I watched in horror as Emily finished pumping the gas and returned the pump to the old man. He took it back with trembling hands, his eyes never leaving her. She paid him with a cold, emotionless stare and got back into her car, driving away into the night. I couldn't explain what I had just witnessed, but I knew I had to find out more. I waited for the old man to return to his post before sneaking into the gas station's office. It was cluttered and dimly lit, the air heavy with the smell of stale cigarettes. I searched through the old man's files, and what I found sent a chill down my spine. There were missing person posters, dozens of them, all with familiar names and faces, people who had disappeared without a trace after stopping at this very gas station. I was about to leave when I heard a sound, a soft, rhythmic tapping coming from the back of the office. I followed the sound, my heart pounding, and opened a door to a small, windowless room. Inside, I found Emily Turner, her eyes vacant and her body suspended in midair. She was bound by invisible restraints, her fingers twitching in a strange, unnatural rhythm. Her lips moved, but no words came out, only a soundless plea for help. I approached her, my hands trembling as I tried to free her from whatever malevolent force held her captive. But as I touched her, I felt a surge of energy, a dark presence that seemed to seep into my very soul. I tried to pull away, but I couldn't. It was as if the room itself had come alive, its walls closing in around me. I could hear Emily's voice in my mind, a desperate, anguished plea. "Help me, save yourself." The room seemed to spin, and I felt myself being pulled into a nightmarish abyss. The walls closed in, and the darkness enveloped me, swallowing me whole. Hours, days, perhaps even weeks passed in that nightmarish realm. I lost track of time, my mind consumed by the whispers that filled my ears. I saw other trapped souls, their faces twisted with pain and sorrow, and I knew I was not alone. But through the madness, I clung to a single thought, the need to escape, to break free from this cursed place. And then, one day, it happened. The room grew still, the whispers silenced, and I found myself back in the gas station's office, alone. I stumbled to my feet, weak and disoriented, and made my way to the exit. The gas station seemed different now, less malevolent, as if the darkness that had consumed it had been banished. As I stepped back into the moonlit night, I couldn't help but wonder how many other restless spirits remained trapped within its walls, how many other stories of despair and longing were etched into its fading memories. But one thing was certain, I had witnessed the horror of the gas station, and I would never forget the chilling horrors that lurked within its forsaken walls.